What's up, guys, and welcome back to Project Z Garage. My name is Ansar, and today we are working on taking apart the Audi's motor. We're actually going to be taking it down to the long block, and once we get it down to the long block, we're going to head out to Vinny 10 Racing to break it completely down and to see where or if we have any issues in the motor and what we need to do to rebuild it. Right now what we're going to do is work on taking the turbo off. You got to take this heat shield off, which is two 6mm Allen heads and then two 18mm sockets for these two big bolts, and then the header itself is held on by a bunch of 12mm nuts. But with this style of header, it's kind of a wedge style, so you got to take the top off and then you just got to loosen the bottom and it should slide out. Also, we got to take this drain tube. What is this?
Breather tube, whatever it is.
Breather tube or something. And
oil feed.
We have a couple of oil feed lines.
And water feed line.
Some water feed lines. And then we'll work on the other side and start working on taking off the intake. Alright, guys. Stay tuned. guys, we got the header off with the turbo. You can see it there. We left all the lines on so we don't have to take too many things off, and everything is kind of where it needs to be when we put it back on later. Now we're going to work on getting the air intake off here, the intake manifold, air intake manifold, and disassemble the whole side here. Also, the alternator is going to have to come off. I'm also going to be using this video to hopefully help us put it back together the right way. We also got to take off this high pressure fuel pump. These are T30s. Alright, let's get to it.
Still good.
Alright guys, we're going to take off the high pressure fuel pump. It's a T30.
We did take off the lines below.
Yeah, you gotta take the banjo bolt off at the bottom here. Also, this other fuel line we took off. Make sure you Ziploc bag everything and label it so you know where they went. Ooh. Woo. Got a little bit of wear there on that cam follower.
That got to get changed.
We're gonna have to switch that out.
Yeah. It's got a little thing on it, right?
Yeah, it's that part comes
Yeah,
off.
I see it.
Alright guys, we got the intake off. We're going to take off this big bracket here that holds the tensioner and some other pulleys on this side. We have to take off the oil, I think this is an oil cooler slash oil filter assembly has got to come off. This PVC system here. So pretty much we're just going to try to wipe this whole side off. Now let's get to it. Alright guys, at this point the batteries died on the camera and we didn't film the rest of the disassembly. After we got it down to the long block, we took it out to Vinny 10 Racing so that we could tear it down the rest of the way and he can help us inspect the parts and see what needs to get replaced. After tearing it down and looking at the heads, the pistons, the rods, and kind of the bearings, we came to the conclusion that the bearings all need to be changed. The thrust washer, one of them was totally chewed up, so we needed to replace those. And kind of go through the rest of the motor and just kind of replace all the OEM gaskets and seals so that we could kind of put this back together and make it as close to a OEM new motor as we can. I decided against upgrading anything at this point, as I think I want to go in a different direction later on. So what I would like to do is bring this back to OEM as far as the motor is concerned, and just kind of run the KO4 turbo from JHM and see what type of power that does from there. We want to thank everyone that's been following us and has been subscribing. We're really close to our 1,000 subscriber mark. So if you're new to the channel and you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. As far as everyone else, just stay tuned as we start putting this motor back together and getting everything fitted and ready to go back into the car. Alright guys, we'll catch you in the next video.